Do you know that one book can actually create multiple streams of income when you learn to think beyond royalties? When you're not focusing only on the royalties that you gain from the book, you would look at the book and see multiple streams of income. In this video, we're going to talk about understanding the business models of a book and how many business models can be generated from just writing a book. You see, a book is not limited to just book sales on alone, right? Which is what many people focus on when they write their book is I write the book and I want sales. No. Mm-mm. One message actually can be transformed into multiple business models and monetization pathways. And I know this offhand because I've done it, I've implemented it, and the Purpose University is the proof of that. When you understand how to actually leverage your intellectual property, your book becomes the foundation. What does it become a foundation for? For courses, for speaking events, for consulting, for membership, and long term business expansion. You see, I used to say this all the time that one of the goals that I want to do eventually is convert the Purpose University into an actual university. And it's the future long term goal. That's a long term goal. But what I'm saying is that all of this wouldn't have been able to start if I never wrote the first book. So the true power of a book is not just in what it says, right? It's in what it can create. Because when your book has the capacity to create more, that is value itself. In fact, I remember I attended this conference called Go Talks, and it's actually a whole consulting licensing firm where they actually teach people how to be licensed as coaches. But all of it was gotten from the book called God Talks. And from that, they converted that into a whole platform. Do you see what I'm talking about? When I say that you can transform something that is written in a small piece of paper into a platform that then transforms people. So, how then can we understand this? First, you must understand that a book is actually an intellectual property. Now, what does that mean? A book is an asset. The moment your mind shifts from royalties to assets, a lot of things change for you because now you now fully understand that you're not only focusing on the book itself, but you're focusing on the opportunities and the business models that a book can create. So, how is a book an asset? It's an asset because it contains knowledge. We live in a world where people go to chat, they go to AI to get information, which is not bad, which is not bad. But there's a certain level of insight and knowledge that can be given based off of what you know personally. And then experience, right? When you've gained knowledge from experience, it's a different kind of knowledge because this is the knowledge that has been lived and applied. It also contains frameworks because whether you like it or not, chapter one it's a framework, chapter two is a framework, chapter three is a framework, chapter four is a framework. They're all frameworks. And then you're probably wondering, well, I don't write self-help books, but I wrote a fictional book. Do you know a book that I know that was many movies, in fact, that have been created from books? And you don't even need to write the book. You can sell your story. Harry Potter is one of them. Even though I don't watch it, but I've heard Harry Potter is one of them. There are many, many millions of movies that is from a book. What does that say to you? The storyline was from the fictional book. So if you're there saying, "Well, I don't have a self-help book or a memoir or what they're talking about, but I write fictional books," well, I think that's an opportunity for you to think of converting that into a story. And now with AI, you don't even need to wait for a director, a movie director, to find your book. You can actually start cutting little clips and plots and converting them into AI stories, right? You can start doing that on YouTube and start gaining your audience on YouTube. The world is changing, guys, and you need to evolve with it. A book is an asset. That's when I said that you're sitting on your wealth. You're sitting on your wealth because intellectual properties can be repurposed into multiple opportunities. And that is the reason why it's important for you to have a book. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, I don't have a book, right? If a book is an intellectual property, then why is it that many people have knowledge, they have the experience, they have the ideas that could become powerful books and business opportunities, but they don't know where to start? Why are people going through that? Because they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start, right? And if you're that person right now, think to yourself, well, I do now. I see what you're saying. A book has power. Oh my goodness, I did not know that a book can be this amazing. Where do I get started? How do I get started? Or what do I do? Well, I have the solution for you. We have a course coming up which is called Fast Track Book with AI. And the concept of this course is basically to help you figure out how to write a book. The reason why we created Fast Track Book with AI is to help you use AI to strategically, right? Strategically structure your message, write faster, build a book professionally, but also position your book for expansion and monetization. So the goal of this course is not just to help you write the book, right? It's actually to help you build opportunities beyond the book. So if you're there, before I move on into the video, if you're there and you're probably wondering, well, I want an intellectual property, well, go check out that course. It's in the description below. You can access the link on there. Or you can, if you say you don't want to get a course and you're just starting out, get our book, The Ultimate 3, which is also in the description link below. That is a starting point. But let's say you don't even have the money at all and you want to start, get our free resources that we have still in the description link below. There is no excuse. Everything is available. If you say, well, I don't like to read, I don't want to watch our YouTube videos. We have many YouTube videos and playlists that talks about writing a book. We even have a playlist called The Bookmaker, which is off of one of our courses called The Bookmaker. So, is there an excuse? No, there's not. Go check it out. Go check it out. Anyways, let's go back because now we're going to go into what are the different business models. I'm not going to give all of them, but I'm just going to give a few of them that I've used and I've done personally that has changed my life more than I could ever think. So you can turn your book into a course. For those that already have a book, and for those that haven't gotten a book, what are you waiting for? Seriously, go to the description and access all the resources we have on there. Access it all. If you're still wondering, you can book a free consultation with me, and I can help you find out the right path for you. But there's no excuse. Really, there's not. But for those that have a book, congratulations to you. Now, let's convert that book. So you can turn that book into a course. So how does this work? We talk a lot about this in our course called the Book to Business Converter. Now, this is not accessible to all. You only get access to this course when you join the Ultimate 3 community. Afraid that's just how it is because it's an exclusive community. So it's not everybody that has access to that course, right? But if you want to have access to the course, then just register for the community and you have lifetime access to it and many other one-on-ones, group coaching that we do and the Q&A questions, and answers sessions that we do if you want to move forward into converting. But I'm going to give you a little bit of tip. And I also even did a video um, regarding book to business converter, which is on our it's on the videos. If you go to our playlist, you will see something like the BDA framework. I talked a little bit about book to business converter on there so that it can help you a bit in understanding how to actually convert your book into a business. And even if you don't want to do a business, it's something that generates income for you. So how do you then turn your book into a course? How? You do that by converting chapters into lessons or modules, depending on how you want to call them. So basically, what you do is that you go through your book, and a every chapter can become a module. Now, if you've gone through any of our courses, you will know that when we teach about writing a book, we tell you how to, you know, make it into sub chapters. We talk about a lot of that in the Bookmaker course, so go check that out as well. But we actually talk about, sub chapters, and your sub chapters can actually be micro lessons under your modules or under your lessons. So it's very good that you look at the books that you have, and then look at the chapters, and then convert those chapters into modules or lessons. And your course then allows you to be able to then teach in depth. So that way, whatever it is that you're talking about in chapter one, because this is very small, this knowledge is in here is still not enough, if you ask me, right? There's so much that can be done with this if you're not just focusing on just this, because it's just small. How many pages is this? This is 180 pages. More knowledge rests in this. So what then does converting this into a course does is that it then helps you teach it in depth. So you break things down a bit. It also gives guided transformation, whereby you can have quizzes in there um to help them in their process or in their journey. Then you can create a scalable income. That's what a course will allow you to do, is that you can create a scalable income. Either you're doing it as a cohort, or you're doing it as an evergreen. I talked a little about this in our course in our exclusive community called the Ultimate 3. But just to make you for context sake, evergreens are platforms that are courses that you create that are self-paced, where you do not need a time restraint, but cohorts are time restraint, where you release a specific course for only a specific period of time, and you teach accordingly, and you follow the people one by one, which is more time consuming if you ask me. But if you're going to be doing that, then you can also do that. If you're going to choose to either do a cohort style of course, or you're going to do an evergreen style of course. And a course can reach more people, right? People pay a certain fee, or if you choose, like you don't want them to pay a certain fee, it's all up to you. Whatever you choose, you can reach more people with that. And one tip is, once you convert a book into a course, what you can do is that convert that URL link into a QR code, and then go to your manuscript, right, and paste that link in there. Now, I know some people may not have access to it, but in the meantime, for those that buy it, can actually have access to the course, or you can even talk about it when you're at events, right? Know that your book actually becomes the curriculum that your that converts that book into an actual course that blesses people. So that's one thing that your book can convert into. That's one business model. Another business model is coaching, consulting, and speaking opportunities. I can go on and on and on and on and on about business models, but your book can actually be converted into a coaching, consulting, and speaking opportunities. And I've talked about this many times on here, how I've been invited to speak in places because of my books. I can actually create a whole website. There are many websites that you can do without even paying for it. I know one of them is, I think, Nellify, that you can use, or Netlify. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But you can use to create HTML websites for yourself. And that website, people can book a one-on-one with you just to talk more about your books, and offer up coaching for them. So, uh, a book can position you as an expert in the field. As much as you've written the course, which is one model, you can also convert this into coaching, consulting, and speaking events. So it creates opportunities for one-on-one coaching. What I was explaining is that you can maybe collab with Colander. Colander is a tool that you can use for one-on-ones to book appointments. You can even do appointments on Google Calendar. I've seen it. And then you merge it with your website. So when people click on it, they can then book a time with you. You can also do group coaching. So let's say you decide that, okay, I want to talk about my book, but I want to do a course style. So I'm going to do group coaching platform whereby it's not all the time, but we meet up maybe for 3 months course or whatever, um, group coaching, and then you teach them. And then after that, you then do another next cohort. Then it also creates opportunities for consulting services, whereby you're so good at what you do that companies start hiring you to teach their people. You can even help companies going through the problems that you solve, and then you can help them solve their problems. You can also create opportunities for workshops, event, webinars, conferences. I know that one. People converting books to conferences. Yes, they do like a 3 day conference or a 1 day conference that is mainly about the book, and then they invite guest speakers to speak about different things in aspect to those chapters. Speaking engagements. You can be called to speak in places that maybe is certain people that have an issue that your book solves, to give them insight, wisdom, and knowledge that can help them. There's so much. People will pay for implementation, not just information. And that is the truth, is that as much as you have the book, which is one form of information, it's good to have a platform where they can actually apply what they've learned. So I advise you to do that. Another so that those are one few of the business models. Another business models are membership licensing and community building. You see, your book can actually evolve into these things. It can evolve into a membership community, which is one of the things I was telling you about, where you can be paying every month to access the courses that are on there. And one amazing platform I think that is good, that does this very well, is Heartbeat. So check them out. Then we have subscription platforms, so it can evolve into a subscription platform whereby your people are paying subscriptions. Like for example, the Ultimate Three, it's kind of like a community mixed with a subscription. But the way our subscription works is that we have an option for full payment, and we have an option for 6 months installment, and then we have an option to just monthly to just go browse through if you're not ready to commit. So there's many options that you can create for this, for whatever it is that you're converting. I converted the Ultimate 3 book into a Ultimate 3 platform. And then we have educational systems. Like I was explaining to you, you can even convert it into an actual academy. Listen, there is so much that you can do. You can create it so way that you're actually teaching people how to be coaches like you, right? You're not teaching them the solution anymore. You're teaching them how to actually do what you're doing, right? So how to run business, you can start teaching people how to run business based off how you run yours. There's so much opportunities in this, right? And I want you to think, these are the few business models. I've listed a lot. These are the few of them that you can do. And I've done them. I've done memberships, community building. I've done that one. I've done the group coaching, consultant services. I've converted my book into that. I've converted my book into courses. I've done a lot. So I always say the Purpose University is the proof of what I'm teaching. I'm not telling you something that I have not done. But first, you got to write that book, right? So if you haven't written your book, what are you waiting for? Don't sit on your wealth. Don't sit on your wealth. Check out the description below and get the resources you need based off the capacity you have at the moment. So I want you to, at the end of this video, think beyond royalties. Don't just think about, well, I just want to write the book and that's it. No, think beyond royalties, because the real wealth is built through ecosystem, through brand positioning, through value creation, and most importantly, through audience trust. So a book creates trust. And once you're able to get that, wealth can be built through books. I remember the first time when I said you can actually build wealth through books, and someone was like, how? It's just book. Are you saying I have to sell 1,000 copies? No, you have to think beyond the book. That's the whole concept of it. Think beyond the book. What can this book create for me? Because a book at the end of the day is a gateway, and an access to long-term opportunities, right? So I'm very sure that at the end of this video, you're already saying, well, I need to get that book down. I need to convert my book. Yep. And if you want to convert it, we have a platform and a course to help you with that. But you have to join the exclusive community to have access to that, which is called the Ultimate 3, which is at the bottom in the description below. And if you don't know anything, you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. We have a free consultation. You can just book a call with me and we can talk more about it. All right. So, leaving this video, I want you to identify 3 business models that are connected to your actual book, if you've already written one, or your future book that you're about to write. Because I'm very sure by the end of this video, if you are not gonna go there and write that book, I don't know what you're doing then. If after this video you don't click on the link in the description below to either book a call with me, access our free guidebooks, buy our books, or even just go to our courses or go to our exclusive community, I don't know what you're doing then, because I've given you everything I can. So identify 3 business models that's going to be connected to your future book or the book that you have now. And then think about how your chapters can become lessons. A course is the very begin stage. Courses, one-on-one coaching, workshops, those are the easiest stage, or speaking engagement, and one of the most easiest stage that you can actually begin by converting. But course is actually, I always say, is the best business model when you're just starting and you want to have a website and a platform where you can teach, because then you're just teaching off of the book anyways. And then consider coaching or speaking opportunities tied to your message, to just speak to your audience. And then shift your mindset from selling books to building ecosystems, and that knowing that your book is an asset in the industry that can bless people. Now, if this video has been helpful to you, because I know it has been, then make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and share it to someone. Someone may need this. They're probably thinking, I have a book to write and I don't know what to do. This is the opportunity for you to help them. Send it to them. And I'll see you guys in this video. Bye for now.